Now we're up to Rule 4, a very special rule. Make smart choices. Notice this. The first rule, follow directions quickly. The second rule, raise your hand for permission to speak. The third rule, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Those cover a lot of everyday classroom activities. And if you can get your kids to follow those 3 rules, why, you're on your way to teaching heaven. Yeah, you are. But Rule 4, make smart choices, it covers a host of activities in the classroom, on the playground, at home, in interchanges between one student and another, in discussions of literature and discussions of history. We want kids to think about choices. So when you're talking about Rule 4, let's say in a history lesson, you say, well, what are some choices that the people could have made here in the American Revolution? What would be some foolish choices? What would be some smart choices? Or a completely different occasion. You say, well, let's say you're out on the playground and someone shoves you. They shouldn't be shoving you. What are all your choices? How could you respond? What could you do? What would be some foolish choices if someone shoves you? Why are those foolish? What would be some smart choices if someone shoves you? Why are those smart? You see, the beauty of Rule 4 is that it teaches moral reasoning. What's the difference between right action and wrong actions? And moral reasoning is something we want kids to think about in all of their experience. And as a philosophy teacher, I love the idea of Rule 4. Make smart choices. Let me tell you something. If you lined up all the philosophers who ever lived, they'd disagree about everything. But they'd all agree on one thing. They'd agree we should make smart choices. So use Rule 4 to help your kids in all different areas of their life to do moral reasoning. That's beautiful. That's Rule 4. Here's a very important application of Rule 4, make smart choices. All right, let's say you have a kid who's misbehaving, for example, shoves someone else on the playground. First thing you're going to do is, when you get a chance, you're going to talk one-on-one to that student. We never want to get into a situation where we're correcting or chastising a student when that student has an audience. When they have an audience, they get brave. They say things that they really shouldn't do. Stop the misbehavior, and then when you get a chance, talk one-on-one with that student. And here's what you can do. The student is ready for a scolding. They know they've done something wrong. But what you should do instead, if you think it's appropriate, is say, all right, tell me about what happened. Okay, I see, I understand. Now, tell me what some of your choices were in that situation. What could you have done? Oh, I see. Well, what would be some smart choices in that situation? Why would those choices be smart? Oh, I see. What would some foolish choices be in that situation? I mean, what would be a really foolish choice to make in that situation? Oh, I see. Yeah, I agree. That would be a foolish choice. You see, what you're trying to do is, first of all, you don't want kids doing things that are wrong, like shoving somebody else in the classroom, or much worse. But more importantly, you don't want to just stop that behavior. You want to develop that child, that student's ability to do moral reasoning, to see the difference between right actions and wrong actions. So that's how you use Rule 4 whenever you're going to do one-on-one counseling. Powerful. You're going to have to use it all the time because kids are human, and humans need practice in making smart choices. Yeah, we do.